His hair is not really great. Oh, it's recording.
Oh, we're recording.
We're recording. Welcome to Okon Bros. I'm Eric.
And I'm Michael.
We have Danielle Gillis here with us today, meeting and events.
AKA Cerami, just straight up Cerami. Because that's what I called you for about 20 years now, which is just unbelievable.
Yes.
I
love it.
I want to introduce Danielle. Danielle and I were great friends at our alma mater, CW Post, Long Island University. I don't even know, like go CW, like what do you even say at this point?
Well, I mean, I still say I bleed green and gold, and I will forever. The school has 20 years or so around there, changed their colors and their motto, if you will, but I still say we bleed green and gold.
I love hearing about it. And I met Danielle in, I think it was Riggs Hall. I met her. We were freshmen. And I got to tell you, there are certain people that you meet in your life, certain people that when you meet, you instantly connect because of their personality. It's not so much anything, but the way they treat you. And there's just like, you see this golden aura around these people. And Danielle was that person. I walked into her dorm room. There were a million people there. You were with AE5, right? Or
No,
you weren't. I know Noelle was with AE5, I think.
Yes.
I don't want to talk. Yeah, but you weren't in a sorority, right?
I have to say, and Danielle was always nice to a 16-year-old fat kid because Michael would bring me everywhere. Michael always brought me from the time I was a baby. He always brought me out with his friends. And Michael would bring me to these frat house parties and these dorm room parties. And I was just, this narrow-shouldered, huge glasses with mom hair. And
Stop it!
I was shaped like a bell. And you were always very nice to me. So thank you.
Well, and thank you for that wonderful introduction, too.
Meeting you was just, it was gold. It was excitement. I knew I was going to be friends with you for 20 years. And we're going on 20 years now as a friend, just for me one moment at CW Post. And here we are today.
Yes, here we are today. And even better than that, here we are today, the three of us, friends for 20 years, but working together too, which is in the travel industry. Whoever would have thought?
Okay, so I know you like CW Post, so we don't have to go there. I want to know post, right?
Sure.
Okay, I want to know post. Like,
how did you get into travel, and what are you currently doing?
Okay, so I have spent the better part of 20 years working in all things meetings, events, and trade shows. I started in technology trade shows in sales back when Compaq Computers was their own entity, and I was selling them $100,000 banners in the Jacob Javits Center. My career then transpired and kind of went into travel around 2004, and I then spent the latter part of all of the rest of the years working in travel trade shows, smaller events, launching events, building events, and eventually running one of the, I'd like to say, infamous incentive events that was called Incentive Travel Exchange for the better part of 10 years. And, after a while, I said, I love this industry. I love these people, and I'm never going to leave it, but I needed something else to do. And about just a year ago, joined PRA Business Events, which was historically.
We love Luigi.
We love Luigi. Yes, Luigi in our New York City office. He's the general manager. He's amazing. And we are traditionally what you'd like to call a destination management company, but over time have evolved into so much more. And we are definitely a business event management firm and a creative agency. There's so many different channels that we work within that I'm loving what I'm doing now. So
you didn't go to Post to go into travel, right? Because I don't think I met anyone at Post who's like, I want to be in travel after this is all done. Like everyone was going for education.
Yeah, so I went for journalism and communications with an undergrad. I did a dual degree, if you will. So it was communications and journalism, and then I also did criminal justice. I think at one point I was loving college so much that I really didn't want to leave, and I was going to go to law school from there, and then realized, okay, maybe my calling is in events and trade shows, and I think that I made the right decision.
100%.
Well,
Yeah.
once you get into the travel business, so to speak, you don't leave. You know,
Right.
it's a lifestyle, and
Yes.
you know, it bleeds into your personal life a lot, and you become friends with people, and it truly is a lifestyle business. And you know, like the limo business is 24/7, and you know, our best friends are our clients because it's our
100%.
so why not live your life that way? But yeah, no, that's cool.
I love that. I love that word, lifestyle. And I think to your point, it is an absolute lifestyle. My children have grown up with mommy working and traveling for work. My children are very well traveled. They've been to a lot of places. My husband had to get accustomed to my lifestyle as well, and how it affected our family overall. So I love that word, Eric, lifestyle. And it absolutely is. And to your other point, some of my best friends are in this industry.
Right. So what is your post now at PRA?
So, excuse me, my title is officially Vice President of Strategic Partnerships. So theoretically, I am responsible for putting PRA at the forefront of any one hotel, other companies, event organizations, anything like that where I can see a strategic partnership lining up from a marketing angle, from a sales angle, all different things. And I sort of touch a lot of things, but my primary focus is working directly with the hotels.
Hotels they're a great bunch of people to work with.
They are. And again, to your earlier point, it's interesting. All of our hotel friends sort of move. If they're going to leave, they're just going to a different hotel company. So everybody stays connected. Yeah. And I have to say, I mean, people that bought events from me in 2005 are people that I'm sitting on boards with now, people that are still continuously, you know, working with me, buying from PRA. It's been such a beautiful evolution.
What has been your influence in the travel industry? Who has specifically helped guide you? Influencers, books, podcast, or whatever. What has been your guiding light throughout all this? Because travel is always the first to get hit when there's a recession. Travel is always the first to get hit, like with what's going on now with COVID, which is just brutal. Who's been, you know, your torch, so to speak?
That's a really good question. I think that first and foremost, that torch comes from inside. You have to love what you do. I believe strongly in the innate energy that we all have, and what we put forward comes back to us. Your book, Mr. Michael, that you wrote many, many years ago, what year was that book published?
I published Just Ask the Universe in 2011, which I can't believe we're going on like almost 10 years now. But yeah. I gave you that. I wrote that. I'm like, I got to give this to Cirami. I mean, that's just.
Greatest book. I mean, your truest potential is inside, and what you put out in the universe is what's going to come back. I have had a lot of challenges, health-wise, career-wise, whatever it may be over a lifetime, working mom, everything. But I tend to always look at life with the glass is always half full. I'm always. I'm eternally optimistic. Probably to a fault sometimes. I wake up every day at 5:30, ready to go. But to answer your question, as far as a guiding torch, I had a boss. Her name was Christina Condos, who hired me right out of college, and she saw potential, and she trained me and mentored me, and she's phenomenal. And 20 years later, I still call her for advice or to run things by her, professionally, personally, whatever it is. And she was and still is a very, very influential person in my life.
Amazing. It's amazing to have relationships that long.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's been so many more. I've been very blessed with amazing bosses along the way, and friends, and I really look to those people as a beacon of light, as you said.
Was Lou your boss at BTN, or he was not your boss?
He was not my boss. He runs a different group. He happens to be one of the coolest guys. I miss him so much.
Ever. Big shout out to Lou.
Lou came to our office in Astoria probably in like 1992, like a real long time ago. And then we lost touch, and then we reconnected last year because that's when I kind of started to come out on LinkedIn and really start posting content. And then he just went off. He's like, I met your dad, and he was cursing, and we ordered an Italian food, and he's like, you guys were so cool, effing cool. Lou likes to
you can curse on the Okon Bros.
And Lou from BTN magazine, Lou
Magliaro. Yeah, probably. You want to talk about a strong influencer in our industry. He's a super guy. So he works on the different side of the business. When I was with North Star, I was on the meeting and event side of the business. But we work together a lot, and we laugh together a lot. And I miss him. I miss his personality.
We got a call with him a few weeks ago. He's still in the game, and I think he's going to come out bigger and stronger than this once travel ramps up.
Absolutely.
After this COVID era. Go ahead, Eric.
BTN just expanded to Europe, which is just absolutely massive, and we were in the process of doing that before COVID.
Oh, that's awesome. Good. Yeah, he's going to come out bigger and stronger, and I can't wait to see what they put forward. They're a fantastic group at North Star, and like I said, I miss them. I miss them a lot. It's the people that we work with that make our jobs so much better.
100%. So now, you said that you've had setbacks. Do you want to tell the audience what setbacks they were and how you overcame them? What did it do to you mentally? What did it do to you emotionally? Like, this is what the podcast is about. It's about overcoming adversity, because adversity is a part of life. You can't escape it. What did you do? What happened? Tell your story.
Sure. So I, like I mentioned earlier, am eternally optimistic. I take life and the value of life very, very seriously. I have always been super healthy and very active. I golf. I'm still horseback riding. I wish competitively, but my job took over on my children and my life. So it came as a very big surprise in 2018 that I was diagnosed with a early stage, thank God, breast cancer. So it was a very significant blow. It sort of rocked me a little bit, and I will share that at that point, and probably for the 2 years prior to that, I was absolutely working around the clock. I was running hard. I was doing too much, and in theory, looking back and reevaluating what I was doing versus taking care of myself, I said, okay, this is a big wake-up call. Somebody up above was speaking to me.
100%.
Yeah, yep. And I will tell you, I listened to that message loud and clear. Right. I have since had 3 surgeries. Big surgeries. I maintained my career. I was so blessed to get incredible support from my colleagues at North Star. So I was able to take off a significant amount of time after my first surgery. They kept that business running, which was phenomenal. But I was anxious to get back, and I wasn't anxious to get back for any other reason that I needed the normalcy. I needed the continuity. I needed to have something really positive to focus on that wasn't draining. Because I will tell you that once you hear those 3 words, your whole life stops and it's draining. I'm a type A personality. I'm a planner by trade, by brain. I couldn't control that outcome. And that was really scary at that time. So I said, we are going to take this, we're going to face it, and we're going to deal with it. And then we're going to move on. And we're going to advocate, and we're going to help others. I was blessed to be introduced to these women at the Rockville Center Breast Cancer Coalition. They were beyond helpful and helped me navigate those waters. And then I realized that it was time to make a change professionally. So it was just by the grace of God, I was introduced to the leaders at PRA, and the role that they had fit my skill set, fit exactly what I wanted to do, because you question that. What do I really want to do?
Right.
How do I better balance life, right? Professionally, personally, everything has to marry together. And my first job is being a mom. My second job is my job.
Right.
So how do I balance motherhood, being a good wife, doing a good job, being an executive? And this role was everything that I could have asked for. I am so blessed and so thankful to be where I am right now, because I'm able to balance it all.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Like like our father got sick in 2004, and while he worked and he was part of our lives very much so, and he was running the business, as the years went on, he got more and more depressed. And like there's two ways that you can go about it. You can go about it your way and just keep pushing, because that's what we have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Or, you can unfortunately get more depressed and go inward
and have this sickness consume you, and have this consume you, which is what it did to our father. It consumed him mentally, which is the worst it could do. And, it clearly didn't do that for you.
You know what? I'm not going to lie, guys. I work really, really hard at that.
You have to.
Yes.
It can very, very easily consume. That's not a world that any of us are accustomed to. Okay. I don't speak that language. So I was, sitting there through tears saying like, what does this even mean? And, then you're researching everything. And once you start researching it and you're seeing every worst case scenario, you're like, oh my God. So there is not a day that does not go by that I do not focus on getting my mind in a really good place. I do a ton of meditation.
Oh, good. I want to ask that.
Yes. Yep. So every single day, I do a meditation. I spend a lot of time looking inward to say like, okay, these are the circumstances. These are some of the things that have happened to me. It doesn't define who I am. How do I move forward from this? But to your dad's credit, it's very, very challenging.
Right. What else do you do? So you meditate. Take us a day for Danielle. Take us 5 o'clock in the morning to when you're tucking the kids in bed. Like, what do you do? Like, I want to know what your day is like.
Okay. So like I said, I wake up between 5 and 5:30. I typically will roll over, which is bad, but I can admit it. I roll over and I look at my phone.
Everybody knows. That's like normal.
People say that they don't do that. I think they're strange.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Or they don't work in our industry. Okay.
This is our work. This is it. This is our universe. Like, this is our window to the universe. Like, you have to. You
have to stay abreast of what's going on. So every single morning, I get right up and I make a cup of coffee. And while I'm enjoying coffee, I'm looking at the New York Times. I'm reading any of the dailies that have come out for the industry. I believe it's really important to start your day with information gathering, because that's what you're going to be sharing. So then I work out. So I have a Peloton bike at home, which I love.
Oh my
God. We gave it up. We can't handle it.
I returned mine. I was using, Danielle, I did a Peloton. I'm like, I'm going to burn 30,000 calories a day. I can eat whatever. I swear to God, I did the Peloton for a week. And then like on day 7, I swear to God, these muscles in my torso that I've never used in my life were like, ah! Like, you started. I couldn't walk. I was walking like the hunchback for a week. I call Peloton. I'm like, love your company. Don't need this here. Like, it's going to become.
Yeah.
It was oh, man. Peloton.
That's great. Well, I've had the complete opposite experience. However, in fairness, I always love spin classes. Yeah. So I'm a big spinner. So I have the Peloton in the house, which was really great. My husband did order it as a surprise, which was awesome, because the truck pulled up outside and my husband was calling. I was out and he's like, you need to get home now. There's an emergency at the house. So I pull up and the truck's in the driveway and I was like, what are you doing here? Why? And the Peloton guy says, you don't know you're getting a Peloton bike? And like a little kid, my husband was watching on the Ring doorbell, and I was like jumping up and down, screaming in the street all by myself.
So funny.
Every day I have to work out. With this COVID crisis that's happened, I've been trying really hard to get outside. I think it's important to have a little mommy time. So that's my 1 hour. I do anywhere between 3.5 and 5 miles a day.
Wow.
And yeah, I power walk. It's just good for my head. Sometimes I listen to
the Peloton?
I'm sorry?
In addition to the Peloton, you're walking 5 miles a day?
Some days I do both, but the good majority I pick one.
Okay.
And in fairness, in the about 8 weeks ago, I just had my last surgery, so I needed that ramp up time. And I was like, I'm not going to be the one who's just sitting around. So let me get outside. And I have to say, guys, it's been really good for me. Prior to that, though, I have been working from home. I travel a lot, so the nice 20-minute jog through the Terminal 4 Delta at JFK.
We flew from we flew from somewhere really close, and the walk through the airport was longer than the flight.
Yeah. So if you come in the gates in the 40s and 50s and you're coming off a red eye and you have to walk the 2.5 miles, you're cursing everyone. But I'm not going to lie, I miss Delta. Okay. I said it. I posted it on Instagram the other day. I miss traveling. But, my work day starts very, very early. I like to answer any of the emails that come in from Europe or Asia, anything like that. And then I kind of go about my day. Lots of Zoom calls right now, lots of in-person interaction. I am social. So for me to be stuck in the house, not talking to anyone, has been really challenging. So I love Zoom. But, adding into that, like I said, right up until I was having surgery and COVID sort of hit, I'm still horseback riding once or twice a week. So that is a really good form of exercise, and it's something that I'm completely passionate about and I love, which has been great.
Has meditation helped you? Because
Tremendous.
I have a love-hate with meditation. I'm like in a love thing now with meditation where like I'm meditating every day. It feels so good. Like, what has meditation done to you mentally?
Okay, so I should answer that by saying, though, I have meditation coupled with Reiki healing and acupuncture.
Wow.
So
okay.
When I first got diagnosed, it was really interesting. We spent a lot of time really looking at doctors. It wasn't like I'm going to go immediately to one hospital that is very well known. I'm going to look for the best doctor in this trade. I ended up with the chief of breast surgery at Lenox Hill Hospital. Phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. And then from there, you start interviewing all your other doctors. And it was interesting because I challenged Western medicine quite a few times. They're very quick to just throw diagnoses out and say, you're going to do all of this. But I'm super healthy. So besides this, and it wasn't in the lymph nodes, and it wasn't, all these different circumstances, I have to bring some Eastern medicine into my life. And guys, I'm here to tell you, and the whole world, I'm here to tell you, it absolutely works. So
100%.
Yeah, it's the meditation part, and some days it's only a 5-minute meditation. I find that Kundalini meditations are a lot better for me. The clearing of the lungs and getting all the emotional trauma and stress out has been super helpful. But Reiki healing saved me so many times, and acupuncture. I will go to the acupuncturist once a week and say, like, this hurts today, this is a little bit sore, and I walk out of there like a new person. And God willing, acupuncture is now being covered by health insurance.
Michael's suffering from vertigo. Does acupuncture help with vertigo?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
I keep repeating this on the podcast, but I had the flu in January, and a week after the flu, I was feeling better, but I woke up and the room was like Gravitron. And, it's been 3.5 months now where like I'll have good days and then I'll have bad days where like I can't see straight.
Okay, so you need acupuncture. You definitely, you know what that is.
Needles. It's like sticking needles in your body. What the fuck? I don't want to do that.
You're going to be fine, because if I could do it, you could do it. And they're little teeny tiny baby needles. Listen to me. Your equilibrium is off.
Yeah.
And they balance the crystals in your ears.
Yes. So that acupuncture does that?
Yes. Yes. Here's what you need to always think about. How can I solve this problem without use of medication? I hate taking medicine. Okay. There is certain medicines that I have no choice right now that will help save my life and reduce the risk of metastasis. God forbid one day I have to take those. But for everything else, thank you. For everything else, use acupuncture, use Reiki, try it, but you have to believe in it. If you don't believe in it, it's not going to work. It's the same thing.
At this point, Danielle, if they told me to drink cow piss, I would do it just to get this thing done with. And like, I had a bad 3 weeks. I know there was stress with everything going on and the PPP money and all that shit I don't want to get into, but like this vertigo I'm not letting it take over my life. I'm not giving it, I'm bigger than the vertigo.
Yeah, I keep saying that out to the universe.
Right. That's exactly right. And like today, I'm having a pretty good day. I woke up, the room was, like a fun house a little bit, but it's fine. I'm moving around. But my brother and I are going to this naturopath doctor, and he put us on a slew of vitamins. Do you take vitamins?
I do. A lot of vitamins.
Us too. And like, he's like, he went through our lab work. He's like, you guys are healthy as horses.
I never used to believe in that, and I always thought let food be thy medicine.
Mm-hmm.
And my daughter was born, and she was born with issues. She was born globally apraxic, which means that she just has trouble talking, and everything that you take for granted with a kid, crawling, walking, standing up, rolling over, had to be taught, and so it has to be.
Wow.
So still to this day, it has to be pulled out of her. And she was little. Her mother's 5 foot, so we weren't expecting much, but she was little. And so we took her to an alternative pediatrician, and the alternative pediatrician opened my eyes to supplements. And, it's a long road. There's no quick fix, but most definitely supplementation works if you find the right doctor.
Absolutely.
No doubt about that. And I never believed in that. I didn't want to take Tylenol. I don't want to take Advil,
Yep.
But, me too.
It totally works.
This guy, I can give you his number, Danielle. He's right he's in Old Westbury. He's healing our mom. I mean, he's, obviously everyone always has issues with each other. You try to minimize the issues as much as you can. He got me on vitamin D, vitamin K2, fish oil, like regimen and some berberine. And like, I'm taking it and I feel a difference. Like definitely, this is 3 months in and I'm like, this is not the January Michael. This is the May Michael. Like, there's a definite difference in how you feel. I just wish this vertigo, if you have an acupuncturist, if you can send me their information, because like, like I said, like I'll do anything at this point to get these crystals, wherever the fuck they need to go, out of my head. I have rocks in my head, Danielle.
Yeah, and I'm going to help you. So I'll make you a deal. So my dad has a really good acupuncturist, and I want to say she's in Manhasset or Oyster Bay, somewhere up over there by you, because mine's in Rockville Center. So I'll send you that if you send me your doctor. I love talking to people about vitamins and supplements and anything healthy. I believe your body's a machine, and I tell my children this. What you put in is what's going to come out as your output. So if you want to be healthy and you want to be happy, you need to fill that body with really good things, whatever it may be.
100%.
So I have a question.
Sure.
A little bit. You mentioned Instagram before. Now, for the longest time, Michael and I was completely anti-social media.
Okay.
The value in it. We were private people. We thought it was stupid. And then all of a sudden, I got wind of this guy by the name of Gary Vaynerchuk. And things that he was saying about social media just started making sense. We decided to start putting ourselves out there. We started this podcast. We started creating content. I'm posting upwards of 24 times a day across all different types of social media, and it's curated, and we're trying to provide value to people on the internet. Hence why we're interviewing you, other people.
Which you are.
Thank you. And that's why we're sharing our thoughts. What have you done on social media? Has social media helped you in LinkedIn, Instagram? How are those things helping you professionally?
Great question. I am a very big social media user in the fact, mostly for business purposes, right? So personally, let's start with that really quick. I think it's really good to stay connected. I have family in California. I have friends all over the world. They want to see pictures of my children and family activities, so we can use those vehicles for that. But from a professional standpoint, I have used social media for a really long time to stay connected to our clients. When we cannot be face-to-face, which is what we all crave, it's important to information share. And there's so many different things going on in a day that it's a lot easier in this day and age to kind of read through what people are posting. I can just share that last week or 2 weeks ago for GMID Day, Global Meetings Day, I posted a picture from one of the events that I used to run. And the picture was from 2000 and I don't remember, whatever year it was, 2010, I think. It had over 8,000 views on it. And it had so many comments, and it was so incredible to read through those comments, because the people who commented on that picture were people who I had done business with back in those times that are still A, in the industry, B, still people that I go to for advice and leadership information, and C, I think it ties your emotional connection of who you are and your personal brand into that information sharing vehicle. So I use LinkedIn. I don't post as much on Twitter anymore. I did at one point, but I'm going to start to get back into that. And then I use Facebook and Instagram. Facebook I use primarily for personal stuff. I don't post as much for work on there, but those are the four that I use. Yeah. But I love what you guys post. I always watch your stuff, and I've been watching it for a while. I always comment on it. You guys seem to be at the forefront for certainly what you do. So I thank you.
Yeah. It's work to, like I didn't realize the effect it was having until we went for a meeting offline. And then the people at the office knew who we were, and I didn't know who they were. And that was all because of LinkedIn. And I'm like, okay, this is working, because you create such a comfort level with people, because you keep in their mind. And if you're honest and forthcoming and you provide value, it really pays off in the long run. This is, it's not a quick fix to, post once and then, and that's it. If you're consistent and you're sincere, we find that it's just, the opportunities are amazing.
And you don't, like, sales was always me, but you don't sell on LinkedIn.
No, never.
I'm not going to come in here and go, we're the best limo service on planet. It's like, no one wants to hear that, No one wants to hear the shit of selling. You sell you. You 100%. Like, I want to hear about I want to hear about your journey. I want to be like, I can do this and I can do that. This is not a job interview.
Right.
And people going on and selling, use my limo service. Like, shut the fuck up. No one's on here for that. People want to hear about you. You sell who you are, and the business will come. I mean, that's the universe, right? That's the universe.
But absolutely. It keeps you connected with your employees. It keeps you connected with your coworkers. It keeps you connected with your vendors. It keeps you connected with your clients, and it's
absolutely,
you can share your message. And actually how it all started was we got bad reviews on like Yelp or Google reviews or something like that. I'm like,
there were drivers. There were former drivers.
Yeah, former drivers.
Worst company in the world.
And, on TripAdvisor, we have a review from 2005. When you search BLS, it's the first thing that comes up, and it's like irritating. I'm like, you know what? I'm like, we have to change. We have to take control of our online brand identity.
Absolutely. People buy from those who they trust, not the information you're shoving down their throat. And to your point, Eric, you want to stay ahead of that, and you want to stay ahead of what is out there. And then, of course, when you do get negative feedback, which happens, listen, guys, we're not perfect. You need to address it immediately. And I find companies who address it immediately and handle it are the ones who come out on top. And I think where social media also comes into play is you're prepared for meetings. So when I'm going in to meet with people that I have not met before, the first thing I do is look on LinkedIn to try to figure out who they are, what their background is. And a lot of times I'll go in to meet with people who I worked with 15 years ago at a different hotel, and they've since resurfaced over here. Second point that I love is the hotels that take the time to look at your LinkedIn, and when you pull up, they greet you by name. So I will tell you the Montage brand is absolutely exceptional customer service. And I will never forget, Richie, my husband, and I, and the 2 kids pulled up to the Montage in Laguna Beach, and we got out of the car, and they said, "Hi, Mrs. Gillis, how are you? Hello, Mr. Gillis, and what are your children's names?" And they had, and I saw the I think it was the valet, or whoever greeted us at that point, my LinkedIn picture printed out and my information. And I thought, you know what? That is incredible customer service.
This is a clip right here. That is off the charts brilliant.
Yeah. It makes sense. It's just how we all are in the business of taking care of our customers from the second that we get them in our arms, if you will, until the second we drop them back off. And I will tell you, and I can say this, I am a customer of BLS. Okay. I love your app. I have to say this. It's really, it's easy to use. It's customer interactive. It's great. They call me, "Mrs. Gillis, hi, you just booked a car for tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Did you want it really for, where are you going? And it's only one way. Your customer service team is amazing. And all your drivers are professional. So I feel safe with your drivers.
Everything is about, we are huge on company personality, okay? You taught me that when I met you. It's all about the personality that draws people in, because if you make them feel comfortable around you. Like right now we're dealing with the COVID stuff, and I'm telling our agents, talk to people. How are you? How's your family? How are you handling?
Yes.
We're here from you. We put dividers in the cars. Drivers are wearing gloves and masks. Everything is being wiped down before, in the middle, after. So again, I'm not trying to sell anything, but the idea is that it's all about the personality. Like the Montage doing that.
Yes.
It's everything.
We are 100% we're gonna put that into how we do business. 110%.
It is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
It is. And I will tell you that, as a woman, right, traveling, I always look for what makes me feel the safest, whether, wherever I am in the world. So I know that there's a direct line to either one of you, obviously, if there's an emergency, but to know that your drivers are always at the airport for me is absolutely paramount to my success, because that makes me feel safe. So.
As a woman, did you find any obstacles in the travel industry, or everything has been easy for you to accomplish things?
Well, that's a pretty loaded question. No, everything did not come easy. I'm here to tell you, 20 years later, there is still people who try to get in my path. And not everybody likes a woman who is confident and secure and understands the business. So there is still some of that old school mentality, I think, not just in the travel business and anywhere that you go in life. So no, the journey hasn't been easy, but because I have made some really good friends, some really good work related friends, there's always somebody to fall back on to say, hey, this is what happened. This is what this one said. How do I handle this the best way possible? Mm-hmm. All about how you react. Instead of acting emotionally, we act tactically, we think analytically, how to, let's process this. And I'm always looking for the good in people. Like, there's a reason that this happened. So
you got to talk to our mom, Phyllis. I mean, she built this company, and now she's, we're going even bigger. And she says exactly what you say, that it's, because I'm a woman, I can't do that, or because, we have a front row seat to a powerhouse who's not a male, and she's the face of our company.
I love it.
Yeah.
The last time I saw your mom was at your house, probably 20 years ago, and she wouldn't let us sit in the living room.
What?
There was the couches, it was roped off. We couldn't go in there.
Really? I don't remember that.
She may have been painting it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
She was nice to you, right? Like, she's a pretty decent
Oh
woman.
my God, she was amazing.
Don't sit in here like that's the way it came up. Like,
No. Your house was beautiful. Listen, you both should know you grew up in a very beautiful home with parents who absolutely loved you, and I love that your mom is such a powerhouse. I should come visit with her again. We'll go to the country.
We should do.
When this is all over, you'll come to our office.
Yes.
Golf. I mean, forget that. I know we tried getting a game last year.
With Lou.
Yes.
With Lou, yes. But you come to our club. We're gonna play around the golf. We're gonna have a good time. And I love that you play golf. You just don't hear that.
You know what? And that's exactly why I started. So it was interesting. You know, I kept missing out on a lot of activities because they're like, oh, we're going to play golf. And I was like, oh, I'm going to learn this game. And my husband, you know, to his credit, he's laughing hysterical. He's like, okay, Danielle, you know, these big ideas that I have. Well, guess what? I learned how to play the game of golf, and I happen to love the game. I had to take a little bit of a break between surgeries because lifting a club over my head wasn't something that was even feasible. But now this summer, God willing, everything opens and we're back to life at normal. I will be right up the block at our club to play.
Love it.
I love it.
Yeah, and I got to tell you that in our industry, golf is so prevalent, and there is so many women that play, and we've made our own foursomes. There's 2 women that are here, clients that I play with all the time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I can't thank you enough for coming on. Eric, I don't know if you have another question.
I got one more question that we didn't really cover, and I know nobody has a you know, nobody can tell the future, but obviously I just wanted to cover COVID-19 a little bit. And, see what you've been hearing from your clients, see what you've been hearing, you know, just in your neck of the woods on your perception on how you think things are going to go, and when we're all going to get back to work.
Well, that is. Yeah, I mean, listen, guys, we're all affected by it. I'm not gonna, you know, say otherwise. We've definitely taken a big step back with everything shutting down. We are at the mercy right now of the CDC and all of the other health organizations. So we are just all sort of abiding by those rules. I do participate in a lot of webinars during the week to listen to our clients, to hear what they're saying. I hear the same thing. Q4 is where everything has moved to. We are, as an industry, looking forward to IMEX America in Las Vegas in September. That's going to be sort of the get everyone back party, if you will, and the information sharing of what the new normal is going to look like. And then I think, you know, 21 and 22 are going to be banner years. I think right now that, of course, I keep saying, I think these are my opinions, they're not facts. In the incentive and meetings market specifically, right now, end of March, April, and May were a wash. So we can only go forward from here. I talk to our hotel partners daily to hear, you know, I'd say the good majority has a June 1st anticipating opening. We need to just wait for the CDC. On a personal level, I live like you guys do in Long Island, so I'm finding myself very challenged getting information out to the market because what is going on here in our backyard is not going on across the country. When I say that, you know, my town in my county has 300 cases of coronavirus or COVID-19, and I have friends that have been affected, people are mortified. So I think to that point, we're going to see certain parts of the country come back before others too. And then, of course, look at what the airlines are doing. You know, God bless them. I have seen so much social media from all the leading carriers, the health and safety measures they're putting forward, our hotel partners, what they have put forward is incredible to make us all feel safe. And, you know, I like to say, in our industry, we will be the first ones back on the airplane. You know, we're going to kind of get right back into it.
100%. I said that the other day. I put a LinkedIn post and I said, you know, we have to all get back to Vegas and Orlando. I mean, we all have to travel.
Yes.
Right? We got to go back to LA. But Vegas and Orlando, which was decimated, like My
Yes.
kids are asking, when are we going down to Disney, mom and dad? When are we going out to Disney? It's like, we'll get there. We're going to get
Right.
there. We're going to make this work, but you got to wait. The parks aren't even open.
Right.
Same thing with the Strip. It's like, no one was, like, my brother and my mom went to the limo show in February, and I couldn't go because I was dealing with the vertigo. I couldn't get on a freaking airplane. But like, I can't wait for a travel Vegas convention, vacation, call it what you will. Just like, get to Vegas so we can all just let loose a little bit and give the hotels our money at this point. Like,
absolutely. You know, I booked a trip down to Aruba for Thanksgiving, and I am putting it out there. I'm putting it out to the universe. We're going to Aruba for Thanksgiving. We were all, including my dad, we were all going to Italy this summer. Unfortunately, we're not going to be going to Europe, but we will as soon as we can. And just this morning, I saw Sicily put out a marketing campaign that said, if you will travel here in the latter part of the year, providing that it's allowed and everything is okay, you know, they are offsetting cost of hotel and airfare to get travelers back, which I thought was absolutely brilliant.
that's amazing.
Yeah, I'm going. You know, I'm going to Aruba, guys.
We're going to Disney.
We're going to Disney.
That's what we need. We need to get our industry back to work safely. I think our new norm is going to be really different, and that sort of makes it challenging, but it's also exciting. And again, if you look at everything through a positive lens, it will be fine. We will prevail. We will get through this and be back to normal.
Your attitude is what everyone should have when it comes to everything. You beat cancer. You beat the 9/11 recession, the Great Recession in 2008.
Hurricane Sandy, we lost our house. Yep.
Right, like you've, and this is like in the last 20 years. It's not even in the last 40 years. This is the last 20 years of dealing with shit that is that is a setback after setback. But in my book, Just Ask the Universe, at the end of the book, I have a chapter called Setback Schmetback, because a setback is only your growth. This is how you grow.
Absolutely.
When you get the diagnosis, when you get the bad news, when BLS is down to nothing, when your company is down to nothing, and you have to make that choice to furlough the people that you love, you know, this is the time that you go inward and you become stronger and more powerful, and you listen to people like Joel Osteen.
Oh, I love him.
That's Joel's my man. Joel Osteen is everything. He's getting me through everything.
Yes.
He speaks the truth, and the truth is, it's all about what's in here. That if you're going to have the personality to persevere, if you're going to have the personality to move forward and overcome the obstacles, my God, we'll all be like you, Danielle. You know, we're going to be successful.
I appreciate it. I try, and I'm glad to know that I've had a positive impact on you, my friends. That's really nice to hear. Thank you.
You have. Thank you. Where can people find you? Like, you know, say what you want to say. Like, where can we find you?
So I can be found a lot of different places. Feel free to get me on social media. Danielle Cirami-Gillis, which is Cirami Gillis. Feel free to follow me. You can call me anytime. I have this connected. Okay, this is my lifeline. I take great pride in responding to people within 24 to 48 hours. You can always text me, call 516-279-7179.
Wow. All right. Phone number out there. I love it.
Yeah, anytime. Anybody can call. But I thank you both. You guys are such leaders in our industry, and I love that we can collaborate together. Certainly, I've called you enough over the years to be like, oh gosh, what do I do now? And I appreciate both of you.
The relationship we had is going to be another 20 years, Danielle. It's like not
absolutely, absolutely.
We're still young. We're 40 and fabulous. Okay.
Listen, that's what I said. It's only going to get better from here because we've already experienced so much downturn. It only can get better. So thank you guys. Stay well.
You're amazing, Danielle. Be safe.
I want to come visit soon. Thanks, guys.
Out this summer. It's a done deal.
All right. I'll see you on the links.
Like, subscribe, leave comments down below of how amazing Danielle is. And
thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.